we've got dozens of the complaints, and I've handled at least a dozen myself.
For the past couple of years, a disturbing trend is on the rise, and the consequences are devastating.
It's anger and frustration because these people, they have to spend a lot of money to get this fixed.
Don Carroll is an investigator for the Arizona Attorney General's office, and he is describing what's called deed fraud, title theft, or even house stealing.
Mostly it's forgery and fraud schemes.
It's when a criminal forges a signature and illegally transfers the title of a house without the homeowner's knowledge.
What I see is that suspect will forge a warranty deed transferring the property to himself or to his entity that he creates. That deed gets filed to the recorder's office.
He says it's not the recorder's job to investigate the validity of signatures.
They don't want to be the arbiter for determining whether a document is valid or not. With the volume of documents that come in, there's not a whole lot they can do.
And criminals are taking advantage, especially during the pandemic when things typically done in person are now done virtually.
What's required is, in most of these cases, what I'm finding is the notary stamp is either the notary stamp stolen or it's something that's been cut and pasted over the internet. The forged warranty deeds are being submitted online to the recorder's office. Nobody has to walk in there and hand it in. They're just being submitted online.
Once the house is recorded under the scammer's name, they can do a number of things, including sell it to a legitimate buyer and take off with the money. And with the recent hot housing market, a lot of homes are changing hands quickly. Carroll says in one title fraud case he investigated, a home was sold 4 times before someone caught on.
It went from my suspect to B, the first buyer, and immediately went to the second buyer, C. And it actually got flipped 2 more times before anybody figured out that it was fraudulent. So the price went from $95,000 up to $240,000 before anybody figured it out.
Many of the homes targeted are vacant, and some are rentals owned by corporations or people who live outside the state, or they're homes where someone's passed away.
If you're heavily mortgaged and you're living in the house yourself, much less likely that this is going to happen.
When an owner finds out the title to their home is no longer in their name, the road to get it back is long and costly.
The maddening thing about this is that as a criminal investigator, there's nothing I can do about getting the house back. I cannot get the document unrecorded. You can't get a document unrecorded. What you have to do is you have to file additional documents alleging that this is a forgery, which means you generally have to hire an attorney, and it's not cheap.
And finding the scammer is not easy.
It's very difficult to identify who exactly filed that document online and prove it. However, the money's going to go to one person, and so that's what I just follow the money.
Carroll recommends checking your records periodically at the county recorder's office and at the assessor's office to make sure your information's in order. If you believe any fraudulent documents have been recorded involving your property, you can file a complaint here at the Attorney General's office at azag.gov. For AGTV, I'm Heather Moore.